Right, good evening everyone. Welcome to Sunday evening's HRF1 stream with Art Kelly 9505. We're really at the business end now, round 11 of a 12 round season, so penultimate round. So, excuse me, and we are at Saudi Arabia, Jeddah for short quali, 50% race. And then, of course, we'll be finishing off next week in Abu Dhabi. Hello, Matthew. Um, just to mention, if anybody was expecting a stream at 6, because of the real life race, the league that I stream at 6 decided to push their race back an hour, which meant I couldn't do that one and this one. So, nervous for tomorrow. Ooh, I don't do nerves really well. I've been competing since I was about 8 years old or something. So that's such a lie. I have been competing since I was 8 years old playing pool, but I suffer with the most worst nerves you would ever see. I can remember once I was playing a match for the under 18 England team, and I had a pint of shandy that my mum had bought me. I was only about 13 years old, so I wasn't allowed actual alcohol. And basically, I was shaking that much playing this match that when I drank the drink, it was clattering against my teeth because I was shaking so badly. That was and I've basically been like that in 20 years of playing county pool. I've been like that every single match. I'm horrendous, shake like a leaf. But this ain't pool. This is F1. Well, and we will do it easy tomorrow night. Don't you worry about that, sir. Evening, Whoopi. Cool as a cucumber. I wish. I wish. Here we go, then. So, anybody watched that real life race today? I won't spoil the result for you, but it's only looking like this season's going one way, isn't it? So I won't go into too much detail because I know a lot of people watch the highlights and that. So, well, I do. If I wasn't streaming, I'd be watching the highlights. So then, I think I probably ought to update you with standings as to who we're watching, what we're watching, and etc. etc. So HRF1 Monday Night Championships. So driver standings at the moment. It is. Oh, hang on. Sorry. Did I say Monday Night Championship? I think I did, didn't I? I meant Sunday, obviously. Right then. So at the moment, Massey is still leading the championship. Not such a good result for him last week. Was it last week? I thought he had a bad one last week, but I don't think it was actually. It was Monza, wasn't it? It was Brazil last week. Confusing. Um, yeah, so Massey leading the way by 42 points to Whoopi. So just to put that in perspective, a win in HRF1 is worth 40 points. So it's by no means over yet, but Whoopi does have to outscore Massey today. Having said that, it could be Daguna as well, because Daguna is 8 points behind Whoopi, so Daguna's not out of it yet at all. So, still a three horse race, although obviously Massey with quite some advantage. Yeah, if he does win today, um, just making sure, but yeah, if he does actually win the race today, he does take the title, so potential decider here. Well, he was first out. It was a McLaren there. Just a Gunner first out on track. We just have a quick look at it before we start doing actual hot laps. We'll just have a quick look at constructors as well. So the constructors is McLaren leading the way. So it's the other way round. So McLaren leading the way by 23 points to Red Bull, with Williams in third, but they're a full 131 points behind. Technically, mathematically, they're not out of it, but logically they are, I suppose. But so it looks like a two-horse race between McLaren and Red Bull. Obviously, constructors with first being worth 40, second being worth 32, plus your fastest lap point and stuff like that. So there's there are still good 144, 146 with fastest lap points on the table at the moment. So still very much a fight going on there. And 19 on track as well. I think it's about time I did a hilly hot lap with the Gooner as well. So here he comes, DRS open. It's to the left to start the lap, to the right, sorry, to start the lap, and we go down to usually third gear, I would say, for turn 1 and 2. Open it out, get on the power as quick as you possible, open up steering if you've got to. And head into this, use as much of the inside curve as you can, but don't touch the wall, it's so easy to do. It's so easy to do all the way through this sector, isn't it? To be honest. Sector 1, Jeddah, extremely tricky, but you can hear there from Daguna, it's all lifts really, it's not so much, you don't really use the brake, it's more lifts all the way through Sector 1, down to 445 for the left-hander there, then a couple of these gentle right-left, and then into a right-left chicane. Use loads of curb on the outside, Daguna doesn't use it there, but you can use loads of curb on the exit to get you up off the straight. So down to the next chicane, need to move over to the right early. That's an invalidation. Oh, the Gooner. It was a really good lap up to that point. This was teammate then, Junkie Emperor. So left, right. This was the same chicane. So there from Junkie, and just saw the debris. His car disappearing. It's effectively a straight. It's probably the best opportunity for. Well, it's not probably. It's definitely the best opportunity for an overtake through the race. Into the final corner, down to third or fourth for the final corner. Open up your steering, get on the power, open up the DRS once you cross the line. Keep it to the left on the way to the line. Junkie Emperor starts us off with 31.1 on the medium tyres, by the way, actually. So yeah, there we go. Did get back to the pits, by the way, so he'll be out again shortly for another go. Other runners then, so Greg Stars 29.1, 29.4 from Volungus, 29.9 from Lycorius. Sorry, you just went up then. Wallace 29.2 is P2. Chris 29.6. Chris was having a little bit of a recovery there. Van 31.2, who we got on their way. Get the one that's just crossing the line. There's a Ferrari. This it's Outlaw, of course it is. Oh goodness me, can't find anyone. Right, let's just stick with one. So Chaldinho just completed a lap, but wasn't a proper run, as you can see, 45.4. So I'm sure he's gonna have another go. See, twists and turns through this first sector. It's right up there, isn't it? I think it's probably the most difficult first sector of the season. Although I don't know, I mean, Japan's got to be up there, and I would imagine Koto is up there as well. It's the only other two really. But I think Jeddah just about takes it as winner's prize on being the most difficult in my opinion. Oh, this Whoopi gets out of shape. Aldo just coming out the pits. Bowden on track, keeping it to the left there, so this is the proper lap. 29.7, P6 for Bowden at the moment. Early doors, of course, most important thing at the moment is, of course, just get the times on the board. Fatal Defiance done a time, he's out on hards in qualifying. Got some practicing for next season, maybe. We're going to have to use the hards, mediums, and softs next season, aren't we? So, I think next year's game actually is going to make it quite interesting. I think a lot of leagues are going to have to switch to full qualifying, in my opinion, because of the use of different tyres in qualifying. Not getting the full experience otherwise, are you? Is Massey. He's already completed a lap, so must have invalidated his first run. See there from Massey, just little lifts. I don't know if you can put engine brakes for the final part of it, I believe, so. I haven't put it on midnight, have they? I was wondering what was slightly different about it to when I raced it recently, and it is most leagues do tend to put Jeddah on midnight, which is probably right, really, because it is supposed to be a night race. For whatever reason, a realistic setting doesn't get the actual timings right, does it? Final corner, and let's look pretty decent from Massey. Is he going to go fastest? 29.1 to beat. Yeah, 28.9. So first into the 28s for Massey. It's a good lap. He's on an out lap. Spot anyone with an improvement going on? Not at the moment. Ronaldo, he's invalidated. Much better, improved performance last week from Ronaldo. Really great to see, and let's hope we get it again. That is a Haas. Who was that then? Was it Alden? It was indeed. So he's back running again, so I'd assume that'd be a trip back to the pits, although he does appear to have this full front wing on there. So one of the McLarens then. I've just realised actually Daguna has gone into P5 on a 29.3, so I think that's important. He needs to be up there somewhere, and he's obviously that's the first run up, so that's important for him to get that one on the board. Still with enough time really for 2 more runs to try and improve that and really nail a lap, so he's just put his name into the hat as a potential pole position winner. I'm expecting a bit quicker than this yet. It's with 28.9 fastest, so I expect at least another 3 or 4 attempts to come off of that, maybe even 7 or 8. The Emperor then improves by a second, goes P10. Gunner's going to need a good do of his teammate out there in support. Just looking down the order, it doesn't look like we've got a Williams. Or no, have we? It's Fatal Williams actually. My apologies, Fatal. Fatal's Williams. So yeah, we do have a teammate from Massey. That's good news. Are you still out there, Mr. Whale? I know you work Sunday nights, don't you? So if you're working, don't worry about it. The final corner for Ronaldo then. Let's look what sort of time he can stick on the board with his first completed run. It's going to be a 32.7. So P16 for Ronaldo. So as you can see, still on the hard tyres. He's just doing a bit of race practice run here. He's using qualifying as a practice opportunity. Fair enough. Mostly look at much of that curb. Jardine used then, and they didn't invalidate, so definitely use that curb for a reason. mention that stopped the car. It wasn't out or anything, it just stopped out the way. Chicane. Difficult chicane that. You need to go over to the right. It's all a bit blind. It's difficult to see. Oh! And Cialdino. Incredibly, Cialdino gets the 5-place grid penalty. That's a difficult one to call. Stayed over to the right. Now, technically, he was probably on the racing line, but the thing is, in qualifying, a driver would usually keep to the left going through there in order to use the path of least resistance. So it's yeah, I don't know what your take on that is. Well, it is a bit different. I do think the racing line there is different in qualifying to what it is in race. So in race, you're looking after your tyres a bit, so you tend to let the car, you open up the steering a little bit to help the tyres, but in qualifying, you generally tend to keep it all the way to the left. So I'm a little bit unsure on that one, quite honestly. So, anyway. As long as Cialdino gets the time on the board, he's not going to be that worried about it. But Whoopi then into P7. So at the moment, Massey's looking strong. Mr. Well, yeah. So yeah, what was I going to say? I was just going to say, I'll give you a shout tomorrow. You need to let me know if there's anything I need to do for the league, buddy, because obviously if Uzo's not there, I need to know what you need me to do for you. Anything. Anyway. Gunnar across the line, improves by 4 attempts, so he goes into P2. So 28.9 as well. Massey is on track. Well, he definitely backed out of that, whatever that was. So he's into the pits, and he's got enough time to get back out again. Whereas Hunter improving. It didn't feel like we were travelling very fast then, so I'm not... No, he's backed out, hasn't he? Heat Gang joins, so that's good news. He's gotten in before the end of qualifying. And news being that that probably means his other race didn't go very well, because he would have been racing in the one that I would normally be streaming beforehand. So, hey James, oh, little Miss Users, man. Sometimes nicks into the streams, does Users. Hopefully, sees you both saying that. We miss him. Hunter up to P4 then, so he certainly hadn't backed out. It just felt like he wasn't driving very fast. I don't know. But he's gone P4, so he clearly was. Odd one. Chris just coming up to the end of sector 2 then. See how he's getting on. Decent so far. I guess you could say, actually, with tracks like this, it's a quarter of a second up. Tracks like this, the street tracks like Jeddah, it quite often is the guys that actually look like they're driving quite slowly that actually are doing really good laps, because their inputs to the minimum, I guess. Is he going to get a tow? No, the Alpine's going to stay out of the way. He might have been going to get a tow. Keeps it all the way to the left, across the line. 29.2, puts him up to P7. Good luck, Chris. very early in the lap. Let's just see if we can find... Oh, what was that? He's invalidated. He's going to get one last attempt to get a lap in. He's gotten out onto an outlap, and he is definitely going to make the line, so he's going to have an opportunity. He's going to have a chance to get himself up the grid a little bit. I think I'd have just come in and said, no, I'll start from the back, I think, personally, because it's not a bad track to start from the back on. Use Jeddah. Avoid any lap 1 incidents. Work your way through. Oh, face into the pits. Right, who's on what? Who's doing what? What's Maxi doing? Is he on a lap? Yeah, this looks like a lap. Not anymore. That's an invalidation. Laguna's on an out lap. He's not going to make it round. He's nowhere near making it round. Wow, find 3.5 attempts in the first sector. Wallace has just gone into P3 at 29.0. Come up towards the end of sector 2. It is, and wow, he's finding even more. He's 7 steps up. This is some lap. From Clements as Greg Stars goes fastest on 28.8. Gunnar leaves the session. Why's Gunnar left the session? What's he doing? Longest fastest on 28.8. Clements though in the sister Ferrari 28.2. What a lap. He loves the street track, does Clements. Goodness me. Assuming, yeah, Wallace completed the lap previously. Repeat. 10th up. Not sure the only reason why the Gunners left the session other than it must have been kicked. Should have been in the main menu. I'll invite him back to game. He really needs to get in before the underqualifying. You don't know. Lose the opportunity to do setups and all that, so, or not setups so much, strategy. He's done his setup for qualifying, of course. Anyway, that is the end of qualifying. We're just waiting for a couple of drivers to be pushed into the garage properly. So, Valungus and Clements completes a 1-2. Clements Valungus is the order. 1-2 for Ferrari. Greg Stars P3. Brilliant return for Greg Stars. Massey P4. Daguna 5. Whoopi in 6. Wallace 7th in the end. Hunter in 8th. Chris 9, Bowden 10, Lycorius in 11, Junkie Emperor 12, Twiglet was 13. Finish off the rundown. Just a moment, here we go. So, Twiglet 13, Chip Van in 14, 15th was Monsters, Crispin 16th, Ronaldo 17th, Fatal Defiance 18th, Chardino in 19th, but will start last with the... I think he'll still start last because of the grid penalty. I assume he's going to go below Mr. Heat Gang, even though Heat Gang didn't manage to get a lap on the board with that one lap he could do. Lots of incidents, but it's all... It's the vast of it, 99% of that is all, like, invalidating, you know, cutting a corner or whatever. You can see... That's an interesting one. The Gunners use 4 sets of tyres. Yeah, we'll see. should just be an easy one-stop medium to hard or hard to medium, whichever way they want to do it. The mediums can do after race here quite easily, so it wouldn't surprise me if we see quite a few starting on mid hards tonight, but we'll see. Anyway, guys, as always, we're going to take a quick break, so please bear with us, and I'm going to go and grab me coffee as I always do, so I shall be back with you in just a moment. Okay, guys, back with you as we get ready to go. Sky's looking a little bit dark up there. Don't know if we're going to see anything. Um, oh, Massey, it's not pressure. Yeah, Massey, that would do it. Because I think, what did I say earlier on? The gap's 42, so they need to be within 40, so they have to beat you. Yes, it was a great lap by Cummins. So I understand, Mr. Heat Gang. So Jeddah's a funny one. Yeah, they can go that way. I think you said in the chat there that it's 3 or 4 safety cars. Yeah, and they can go that way, Jeddah races, but it's by no means a certainty at all. Like, on last year's game, when the track actually came out, everybody was like, "Oh, it's going to be a wreck fest at Jeddah. This track's going to be terrible for racing." It was phenomenal. There was hardly any safety cars around there. There has definitely been an increase on this year's game, and I think that's because of the cars, because they're heavier, bigger, and So yeah, I think that's made a difference. So generally, if you're patient, don't try and force a move around every blowing corner. Basically, be patient. Wait for your DRS zones. Anyway, off we go on a formation lap. Oh, heat gang, that hurts. Yeah, I got a silly disqualification around here last week in my race in Arc. When I was entering the pits, the AI took over very, very early, way before I hit the line for the pit lane, and then when it actually got to the white line, my car just stopped, still, didn't move at all, and it disqualified me. Literally, like, but you know, this is after the AI is taking control already, so there you go. But anyway, look at the tyres then. Comments, well, both Ferraris on mediums, they haven't split their strategy. That might have been an ideal thing to do. Greg Stars also on the mediums. Massey, Daguna, Whoopi also on the mediums. So the highest driver starting on hard tyres is Wallace. So that could really work out for him in this race. If you know, as I say, well, if it's safety car free, that could really work out for him. The problem comes when if there's a safety car around sort of lap 7, lap 8, something like that. It's too far for mediums to go at that point. So, anyway, you can see on the left there all the tyres. I don't really need to read them all out to you, but there's a few drivers using hards. Nobody's starting on softs. It's certainly a track you can do soft to hard, or hard to soft. So I guess if you're going to do that, you're better off doing hard to soft, and then that way you can amend that if there was a safety car. But it's a rather big gap, by the way, that's formed. Not sure the reason for this, but it's between Chris and Bowden. There really shouldn't be a gap like that on a formation lap. So as you can see, it's basically closed it in a way, so really it doesn't make any difference. The only thing you can say is that he's perhaps gained a slight advantage by now to drive faster for a little bit to heat the tyres, but yeah, it's a game, not that. Didn't race 21 cars, James. They were good. Unfortunately, the game was very much as glitched as this one is, but yeah, 21 was a great game. It really was a great game. I think most people say 2020 was the best, but I think that's because I didn't see as many glitches, or as bad glitches, I should say. I think there's still numerous. We're gonna have to pick someone to go on board with, guys. So, the championship rivals here as Whoopi absolutely launches. I think he's got the host advantage, but of course he is an absolute incredible starter in a way. So, and look at them, the three championship rivals are side by side for turns 1 and 2, and can't quite tell as Wallace past Whoopi there. Yeah, it looks like Massey has. Yeah, so Massey's come out in front of them. There is a yellow flag. Somebody is dropping down. I think it's Chris. He's dropped down. And I don't know if Lycoris has been caught up in that as well, but he is carrying on, so I think maybe not. Just a bit cautious. So, well, they gave us some interesting action to start off with, but I'm very glad to say that they didn't come together or anything. So, Whoopi's the closer one to Massey on points. Gunnar, it would be a bit more than just having to beat Massey. He'd have to, I believe he's 50 points behind, so he's got to, you know, at least 10 points, you know, gained at least 10 points on him. I mean, it'd have to be 10 points, because if it was 9 points and then he won and got fastest lap last race this season with a Massey retirement, Massey would have won the most races, so on count back, Massey would still win it. So, yeah, it has to be at least 10 points to keep him in with most outside of chances into the final race. So Whoopi and Wallace are side by side. Still side by side. Yeah, in the end, Wallace on the outside, kind of having to give up on that a bit, and it's cost him a place. Greg Stars has gotten ahead of him. Great to see Greg Stars back on track, by the way. Very good driver, as you can see here. And he's going to get past Whoopi. So he's got picked up 2 places in the first sector, Greg Stars. Very happy with that. Unfortunately, it looks like something's happened to Twiglet. He's back going in a way. Whatever happened. Oh, no, hang on, that's not Twiglet. That's Twiglet. So he is back going and appears to have his front wing intact. So that's the good news. The 2 people who do seem to have had a spin so far are still going, and they haven't needed to pit. Well, obviously Twiglet hasn't got round to the pits yet, but looking at that front wing, I can't see why he'd need to pit. And now Bowden is after Whoopi. Runs wide there. Is that going to leave an opportunity for Wallace? Right, we head on to lap 3 as well. So DRS opens. It is a... As Wallace can get switch back maybe. Not quite. And yeah, so it's a free DRS zone track, but use your brain a little bit around here as well. The best opportunity is down the longest DRS zone, which is down towards leading up to the final corner, but the problem with passing there sometimes is that you then give DRS away on the pit straight and the driver gets you straight back. So judging kind of thing whether it's has a little touch on the wall. Hunter had a look on the outside. Don't know if, yeah, well, this rear wing is open, so it does have DRS. Both make it through there, well done guys. Nice racing so far. As mentioned that Massey is in P3, he is on the back of the Ferraris. And as you can see, despite Cummins's clear superiority in the qualifying states, he has got a gap of over a second, but he's not sort of disappeared up the road. And just wonder if Filungus may opt to try and help his teammate here. Oh, Raylan's out of shape. Oh, Chardino gets a bite of him. Again, I don't think that didn't look hard enough to cause any damage there. I think I was just Bowden out of... Well, it looked to me like it was just Bowden out of shape. I could be wrong. There could have been contact somewhere, but I didn't see it. Set to 1 yellow again. It seems to be set to 1, doesn't it? It's causing the odd yellow here and there. But again... It's Chris again actually, but again he's back going, and again it looks like his front wing is intact. So I still feel Wallace is in a good position. He just needs to bide his time. He's no... Stay on to the back of these guys for the moment. Once you reach around about, I think it's around about lap 8 or 9, the mediums. Well, they don't go off, but they just begin to struggle a little bit. As looks like Hunter is having a go at his teammate, Whoopi. So Hunter around the outside of Whoopi. So, if he's got any damage, I don't appear so. Unless there's something on the rear wing or something. Greg Stars there, gets ahead of Dagooner. P4. See if Dagooner gets an opportunity to come back. Obviously, Greg Stars needs to make up a good sort of 3/4 of a second. Oh, Whoopi's out. He'll run right over there. Where is that? That's obviously sector 1, but part. Oh, it's here. Strange one. Is he side by side with someone there then? It's quite a way off track actually, so yeah, there's no safety car yet, and I don't think there's going to be. But well, I don't think for a second that Massey would want to win the championship by another driver DNF in, but at the same time, that takes a gigantic amount of pressure off of him. Now, well, I'll be honest with you, the way it is right now, if Daguna would need to basically fly and go on to win this race with Massey finishing in 3rd or lower. Close, Bowden's pretty close to Wallace. Yeah, he's got him this time, hasn't he? Quite important battle, that one, because they are both hard starters. What may be a bit of a problem for Alfa Romeo here is they've ended up next to each other on track. Although I guess they've still got a good sort of 10 laps, including this one, 10 laps before they look at pitting, so it could well change by then, of course. Right down the back of his teammate now, but Wallace has got DRS as well off the back of Bowden when they reach DRS zone, so Bowden looking pretty pacey again. As is Hunter, by the way. What a massive shame to lose Whoopi out. It's that part where it was, only two things I can think, and that's one is he was either side by side with someone and they've had contact and he's ended up in the wall over there and bounced off, or he's hit the wall on the inside and taken his left wheel off and ended up over there. Well, I'd imagine that would have caused a safety car. It's difficult. It's difficult. I'm just guessing. Let's be honest. As Wallace gets back past Bowden. Quite like his teammates be able to follow him, but of course Bowden now getting DRS back again. Wallace looks to look at the overspeed here from Chardinho. Bowden is still there, and they have to. It's quite a precarious situation, but they do pretty well, all three of them, to avoid sort of contact. Oh, Alphas don't take each other out for good. Oh, goodness me. Wallace, you should have eased up there, man. Oh, Bowden spun as well. Out of sympathy. It's all coming up Chardinho in that moment. So now Wallace is going again. Sure why he left his front wheel in there. So, never mind. It is what it is. Kement's now very much looking like he's got the superiority around here. 4.4 seconds ahead. Where's our next battle likely to come from? Ronaldo is pretty close to the back of Wallace as Wallace looks to recover. Other than that, I think Greg Starr's going for P3 is... Oh, I say that, Volungus is right on the back of Massey now. I didn't realise he was that close to Massey. Victorious gets ahead of Junkie Emperor for P8. So those mediums still working at the moment. We're only on to lap 8, so lap 8, 9. Oh really, Whoopi? Was it the inside wall that you hit and it's bounced you across off the track? I'm forever hitting that wall. I hate it. The amount of times I'm doing time trial and I come out of turns 1 and 2 like a tenth and a half up or something, get excited and smack that wall. looks like Massey might be edging away. It's a bit of a stalemate here, isn't it, at the moment? The other one, obviously... Oh! Why did that say anything? Nah, that's not a commentator's curse. I never said anything specific, so... It doesn't count. That doesn't count. It's a spin from Greg Stars, who's done so well on his return. Great to see him back on track. A little rustiness there, maybe. It's probably a bit harsh to call it rustiness, really. It's just a track where it can happen, to be honest, to anyone. Yeah, definitely agreed with you. But I said I personally think it's the hardest first sector of the season. I mean, I say the hardest first sector, it's probably the hardest sector of the season. Say it's only Japan and Kota that have got first sectors that could even come close to rivaling it, and I don't think they do really. I think this one takes the biscuit a bit. But having said that, it's hell of a fun to drive. You know, it is great fun. Just it's a lot more difficult with 19 other cars on the track, so when you're doing a few hot laps and time trial. Mr. Heatgang, I do apologise, Mr. Heatgang. I didn't see you drop out, otherwise I'd have invited you back. I think the Series I struggling a little bit lately, haven't they? Since it went on to Game Pass, it seems to be struggling. As we see Chip Van have a little crack on the wall on the left, which is a bit unusual. Looks to widen the angle into the corner. So, Chip Van does have DRS as well. He was a little bit late opening it there. Whether that's going to give Bowden a run. Goes for the late braking, doesn't really make the corner, but Chip Van was absolutely aware of it and just switches back inside and says thank you very much. I'll take that. There's maybe a bit of over eagerness there from Bowden. He could have braked earlier and kept close distance going on to the pit straight and looked to get the move done into turn 1 instead. Battle a bit further down. Nice if we can see as many of the drivers as possible. Oh, kept getting error code, yeah, bloody lobbies. Yeah, I don't know if I'd go that far, Woofy. Sorry, I looked down at my phone to see the comments, and at some point there, Ronaldo got past Chris, so I hope you enjoyed that overtake, guys. I missed it. They come back at each other. So, it's our teammates, mind. It's the two AlphaTauri boys. Doing a bit of racing against each other. Huge overspeed there for Chris. Ronaldo. Now Ronaldo will get DRS back. I think he's dropped off a little bit, hasn't he? So, yeah, someone tells me Ronaldo's running a much higher wing. It didn't seem to make any ground up with the DRS there. Definitely using it, isn't he? Yeah. Oh, his teammate goes into the pits in a way, so it didn't make any difference. Also into the pits then is Chip Van and someone else. But they're all jumping about all over the place, so I can't see. Greg Stars as well is into the pits and onto hards. I'm not exactly sure where he pitted from. I've seen that spin. Comes out just ahead of Twigler. May have a bit of problem here though. So you've got to get these hards up to temperature as well as let's move on monsters. to the left-hander. I've always really struggled at Monaco up here. Yeah. No, you're a pad player as well, aren't you? Aren't you both pad players? How do you like Monaco as a pad player? This is definitely a wheel track, this one. It's because it's little movements. So the two chicanes, there's little movements you got to do just before the chicanes to open it up. Open the entrance up, and it's so hard to do on a pad compared to wheel. Move into the wall slightly. So without hitting the bloody thing. Lycorius into the pitch just ahead of us then, and we should be expecting the leaders in anytime soon. Clements pretty much has free reign. He can just wait for everybody else to pit before he pits. Actually not quite in that bracket. Needs to... So Ronaldo speeds in the pit lane. That's unfortunate for him. Yeah, sorry, yeah, so Massey's gonna have to judge this pretty well. He doesn't want to end up getting either undercut or overcut by Alungis, so I don't think that 12 laps on the mediums is actually right, so I really wouldn't be surprised to see Massey coming in at the end of this lap. The medium should be pretty worn now. 60% now. Switch to the hard should be. Yeah, pad, yeah, thought so. He moves to the left, and oh well, Valungus is going to follow him in. Why has he done that? I always do the opposite to the car ahead. If they, I always say to myself, I'm going to do the opposite to whatever you do. So if you go to the left to pit, I'll stay out, and vice versa. Caught by a dummy for the first time earlier on, but not as a driver. I was commentating, and somebody done with a pit stop, and I totally fell for it. Thought they were going in, and they weren't. Down, Junkie, McLaren, so that's a genuine position change. They've knocked into fourth. Junkie, quite good feeling at this point on the hards. The hards would be feeling pretty good at the moment, but the good feeling I'm talking about is actually, you know, you've got about three laps, 2 free laps before you pit to a beautiful fresh set of mediums. And it just feels so much easier. But to say, the hards would not be feeling too bad right at this moment in time. They'd be feeling pretty good. So, see, Massey and Lungus both exited the pits together as well. And Massey right up on the back of Chunky Emperor now. Maybe a move down to the final corner. Junkie is the Gooner's teammate, so he would love to be able to help his teammate out, see fairly, which Junkie will always do. Very, very fair driver. But yeah, if he could have held Massey up at all, he would have tried. And Lungus inside of Junkie now as well, and driving from all three there. So nicely done. Still going to be another 2 or 3 laps, I'd imagine, before we see either Cialdini or Bowden in. One of them, one or both, may actually decide to hang their hard set out and go to softs later on, because not so much for the fastest lap point, that doesn't really matter, but just in case a safety car, really, they can take advantage of having gone long if a late safety car was to come. Back with Massey and now on the back of Bowden. clearly see the sort of advantage that the fresh tyres are giving him. It's not close enough there. Some of the moves you see people trying to make into that chicane though sometimes, and you want to end up into a wall making a move there, surely. So that's it. It's a lift slightly then. Just a little bit unsure, I think, on what Bowden was attempting. Hard racing, but it's pretty pointless racing, if I'm honest. We all like a bit of racing, but ultimately Bowden's got a pit yet, so you know he's going to end up 20 seconds behind this. So not much of a reason for doing it, and he's pretty content to allow Volungus through. Almost seemed like that was an attempt to hold Massey up, to be honest. He's on the Gunner's side. So here's the Gunner, but that car ahead of us, that is Chaldinho on fresh mediums. And that lad is going to be quick. That may be a teammate ahead that's not that interested in moving out his way though, unfortunately. He did have contacts earlier on, the two Alfa Romeos. So, yeah. As you see, Clements is going to complete 15 laps on mediums. He is into the pits. I didn't think he'd really go any further. That is reaching the point of where you potentially you could give yourself a puncture. So it's not really. There, I expect Wallace is probably on his way in. Is he? Nope, going to stay out another lap. Yep, staying out another lap. So, who's in there? So Bowden and Fatal Defiance are both in. Bowden nice and high up. Safety car came. Don't know what's going on there. It's suspended in time. This getting ahead of monsters down the pit straight into turn 1. He has a little look at his switchback. Not a bad attempt actually, but it's really Chris able to establish himself as the P14 driver. So just to mention that Fatal came out in P12. He's having a good race, isn't he, Fatal? He started towards the back. I think it was 17th, wasn't it? And he's done a long stint on the hards, and now he's going to look to see if he can enjoy the race to the end. It's certainly been a... Oh, actually, dare I say this, but it's certainly been a very good Jeddah race so far. Look, still there. It certainly looks like these two Ferrari drivers enjoy their street circuits, doesn't it? Way, way higher than they have done in recent times. I can remember racing against Clements. First race of the season at Australia, I'm thinking, wow, this guy's fast. It's Australia, another street circuit, so it's that sort of thing. I don't know. Actually, that was the Monday Night League, because so it's the Alfa Romeo's Wallace, who's still on the hard tyres he started on. Obviously, he's looking to push those now. Actually, he's recovering, so from the spin earlier on. Oh, that was a Ferrari. That was Volungus. That technically could be regarded as a commentator's curse. Maybe being a little bit harsh on himself, but it could technically be regarded as that, as such. So, just allowed through that. Just seemed to allow Wallace just to move away again slightly. He's due into the pits literally any moment. Could be any lap. But I do think he's staying out because of the possibility of a safety car. I mean, Lungus didn't retire, as you can see. He's heading into the pits now, and so it wasn't a retirement, but if that had retired him, it would have been a dead cert safety car. So Lycorius looks like he doesn't really want too much to do with that. Trying to fight a rapid Bowden on fresh mediums at this point doesn't seem that appetising to Lycorius. He wants to look after his, what is so far a very well-earned ninth place. Very much like Face of Defiance, and a very good race. And that, can you believe that? That's cost Colungus from P3 all the way down to P18. It just goes to show, really, just how close this is. Here is Hunter. This is the Bossman. Hunter making a move on good power to Gunnar. And I don't think he's going to stop there. He's going to go for Wallace as well. Wallace defends to the inside, so Hunter will have to come around the outside. Don't need any heroics, just hold it off. I think Wallace probably got the DRS here. Yeah, he did. I think if Hunter needs to defend the inside because Daguna's flying. Goodness me. Oh, there's another car there, Hunter. Three side by side there. And it's also allowed Greg Stars to go up onto the back. Well, sorry there, Daguna's ended up. So after all that, somehow Wallace has ended up back at the front of him again. Oh, not now though. That's a moment. That's a moment where his hard tyres are currently saying, would you please pit already? I've had enough. So, Greg Stars takes it nice and calmly, nice and smoothly round the outside. Let's say you can't blame Wallace trying this. He's, you know, he's holding on, and it's going to be one of two things. It's either a safety car comes out and this all pays off for him, or it doesn't, and it doesn't pay off. But he can have a bit of fun and go for the fastest lap on a set of softs before the end. So now Daguna. So for all that, he's lost the place to Hunter. So rather than running P4 now, he's now P5. Although Hunter, of course, has a penalty, so technically, right now, Daguna would be, if they finish now, Daguna would leap ahead of Hunter. You know, in terms of championship, it's not that simple, but for the constructors it is, though. It is important for the constructors. So right now, Massey, of course, P3, Daguna P5. Remember, it was Williams against McLaren. And in terms of the other battle for the constructors, so Fatal Defiance in the second, Williams currently running P9 to Junkie Emperor's P10, and Wallace in the end, it does look like that was a moment where the tyres was telling him that they've had enough, and so he is into the pits and a fresh set of soft tyres go on. Alfa Romeo, and let's see if he can set fastest lap now. Let's go to Chip Fan here because he's on the back of Chris, and they're not in a DRS train here, so a genuine chance of an overtake. That 5 seconds back to Wallace will. That's going to come, once he gets those tyres up to temperature, that's going to come down about 2 seconds a lap, I'd imagine, at least. So he will appear in the next couple of laps. He will appear on the back of them. I love the strap softs. I think they wear it around about 7% a lap. something in that region. So yeah, unfortunately, Chipfan has got DRS, but he has fallen out the 1 second here, so he may not get it down the pit straight. He's not going to get it down the pit straight. At no point did he go back within the 1 second. So that's the end of that one. Here's a different battle. So Fate to Defiance has got the back of Lycorius, and in terms of that Constructors battle, Fate would love to put this Alpine in between him and Junkie. Yeah, top positions look like they are pretty much decided now. So just the Gooner really likely to jump ahead of Hunter because of the penalty. So what pace Hunter's showing, by the way. He was, well, I'll tell you, he was showing really good pace last Monday, wasn't he? Well, and doing it again tonight. Clements, Chaldinho, Massey as your top three. To then be the best of the rest after those three is not a bad thing. And to finish a race, 50% race around Jeddah, at the moment it looks around about 8.5 seconds off of Massey. It's not a bad thing at all. So, sorry, just to mention there, Greg Stars has just jumped ahead of the Gooner. We'll go back to this though, I don't want to miss this. So gets close but not able to make the move yet. Is he going to get a good exit here? Did get a decent looking exit, although Boris looks like he might be running quite a low wing, so have it. In terms of the positions at the moment, Massey would be picking up 28 for Williams. The Gooner, it's hard to say exactly where he's going to finish at the Gooner, but if he actually stayed P6, that would be what, 28, 25, 22, 20. So that'd be a loss of 8 points, and then there's a 2-point difference between 9th and 10th, so that would be 10 points made up for Williams. That would definitely make for a very interesting race next week at Abu Dhabi. May not have a drivers going on, but would definitely, by the looks of it, have a constructors battle going on. Oh, just to mention, he knew it would happen, and Wallace has caught the back of them. And up into P12 he goes, misses the chicane slightly, but avoids the wall. So, let's say into P12. Does have a penalty, so Chipfan will try and hold on to him, but again, with Wallace being on young, soft tyres, it's not going to be an easy thing to do. And we can go back to the Gooner. Not the Gooner, sorry, it's the wrong one, isn't it? Fatal. Oh, just to mention, Junkie's, don't know why, don't know how that happened, but he's dropped off the back of them by 1.8 seconds, so Heat Gang picks himself up a penalty. He's a bit for softs as well, so he's maybe going to have a go at the fastest lap, but this battle here is potentially worth 2 points. Say, that constructors battle, I'm just going to remind myself what the gap actually was between McLaren and Williams. That was 23 points. So, as it stands right now, it dropped to 13. So, say, it just looks at the moment like Lycorius has too much straight line speed for Fatal. So, look, I think Fatal is his energy has gone up somewhat since the last time I looked. So I think he's storing ready for the last lap. He's going to have a massive attempt on the final lap, I think. We shall see. Just bring the penalties up now. And, right, 3 seconds, 3 seconds. So that's Hunter and Greg Stars both 3 seconds. De Gooner is still within the 3 seconds of both of them, so he would jump up to 4th. Christian Wallace also 3 seconds. Yeah, I said Wallace was going to get away from Chip Van pretty quickly, but I don't think he's gotten 10 seconds away without Chip Van having some sort of moment there, which is allowed Volungus onto the back of him. Yeah. I think he's going to try it. I think he is waiting. He wants to see that red light keep flashing. And look, Lycorius is doing exactly what Fatal wants him to do. He's using his energy. Quite interesting, this. If this pays off, definite kudos to Fatal. It'll be hard to look anywhere but Clements from a driver of the day today. Cialdini would be an obvious one as well. Quick look at the... I just complete those penalties, by the way. Monster 6 seconds, 5 seconds for Ronaldo, and 3 seconds for Heat Gang. What did I just say? We're gonna... Oh, yeah, Cialdini's up 18 places after that horrific qualifying. So it's... It's hard not to give it to him, if I'm honest with you, but I kind of feel like Clements deserves it. Sorry I've missed them, but I want to stick with this, if I'm honest, guys. So that's it. Here he goes. Here he goes. So Clements wins in Jeddah. Cialdini P2, Massey P3 completes our podium. Gunnar is still within the 3 seconds of the other two. He's gonna have to try. Get a really good exit. Oh, he does as well. This is going to be a race to the line. Can he do it? He does. He does. He gets it on the line. That was entertainment for you. 26 thousandths of a second, the difference. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Kudos to Fit of the Flights. That could prove to be a massive 2 points for the constructors. De Gooner did jump back up the 4th, so that will mean he'd pick up 25 points. So Massey picks up 3 points on De Gooner, Fatal picks up 4 points on Junkie, so that's a 7-point swing. So that leaves it a 16-point gap going into the final race. So very much, with 40 points available for the win, very, very much still alive. So I'm so glad I stayed with that battle now. I would have probably missed that if I'd have moved off of it to go to the winners. So, well, glad I stayed with that. The game gives driver of the day to Cialdini, and I've just realised actually I don't actually pick driver of the day in HRF1. I always give a driver of the day because I do that on all my streams, but in the other leagues I'm in, it's actually the official driver of the day. But HRF1 haven't given me that power yet, so... it just counts as one vote, just like every other person's does. But I think I've got to give it to Cialdini because he's made up 18 places to finish P2. But if I'm honest, my heart kind of wants to give it to Clements. So on stream, I'm going to say Cialdini, but I'm going to vote for Clements. in the Discord server. There you go. That is it. So, there we go then. So, Kement wins, Chardinho P2, Massey P3, Daguna 4, Hunter in 5, Greg Star 6, Bowden in 7, Fatal took that P8 right on the line off of Lycorius. Absolutely superb. On board with them as well, so that's going to be a good one for viewing. Lycorius then P9 though, so still a very, very good result for Lycorius, by the way. Well done, lad. Junkie Emperor in P10, Chris P11, Wallace in 12 in the end. Took the fastest lap as well as you'd expect. 31-1. Volungus, Chitfan, Twiglet, Monsters, Crisp, Ronaldo, and Heat Gang will be unfortunately a non-finisher. Please let me get through. Yes! Got all the way to the bottom before it kicked me out. There we go. That is our race at Jeddah for HRF1, the penultimate race of the season. And what a race it was. Absolutely superb. I lost count of the amount of overtakes. And 99% clean racing from what I could see, in a way. Obviously, I can't see everything that goes on, but from my point of view, from what we saw on stream, it looked like it was a good 99% clean race, and that was fun. I'm not going to lie. That was. I think that's the race of the season. I'm probably forgetting one or two other brilliant ones, but I think that's probably the race of the season for me. Absolutely superb. Obviously, a massive congratulations to the top three, as always. But no, well done to everyone, really, because everybody played their part in that race, and that was absolutely brilliant. Even Whoopi played his part by crashing a bit far enough off track that we didn't get a safety car. So sorry, Whoopi, I had to get that in. In a way, guys, thank you very much. Apologies we didn't get the first stream in earlier on today, but it just couldn't do it, unfortunately. So just the one stream this evening, but back to normal, I believe, next week. So, say for HRF1 next week will be the finale. So please come and join us for that, 8 p.m. at Abu Dhabi, and that promises as well, I'm sure, to be another great race. Congratulations, of course, by the way, to Massey, who is the drivers' champion. Obviously, all results after any race of anything are always to be confirmed, because stewards have to do all their stuff, but I don't think anything went on with Massey that's going to cost him his position. So that's I think that is the drivers' championship sewn up for Massey, but very much the constructors still alive. Anyway, guys, that's me for this evening. So thank you ever so much for all of you that have watched live and everybody who watches the stream back. I really appreciate it. I thoroughly enjoyed this season. It was definitely the race of the season, and I can't wait for Abu Dhabi next week, because it's going to be a really good finale, I am sure. I wish you obviously enjoy what the little bit that's left of your weekends, but have a safe week at work, and I will see you again very soon. I'm back live on Tuesday for WAOF1. Don't forget, HRF1 will be live tomorrow night with Trem on YouTube, and come and watch me and sew up the constructors tomorrow night, please. So and become constructors champions, and potentially Whale drivers champion as well. So come and see us for that. Support us. Cheers, guys. God bless.